Hello, my name is Chris from HemiStorm products. I'm gonna try to show you guys step by step in a few videos how to paint an RC car body. The body that I'll be painting is a HemiStorm Penta body that is developed for the Losi 5T. I will be using real simple stuff, masking tape, rattle cans, and if you guys aren't too bothered with my accent or the poor editing quality of this video, then I'm quite sure that you will be able to learn something. And I hope to inspire some people to start painting themselves, because it is a lot of fun if you have the patience. Step 2. What do you need? You need masking tape. I use white tape. This is 2-inch wide. The brand is 3M. Serial number is 2367. That's 2367. I only use this kind of tape because it's really sticky and it makes sure that I get no bleeders in my design. You want sticky tape because if you cut the line and if you weed out the tape, you don't want any paint to appear under the surface that is still taped. So that's the only reason why I use this tape and this tape only. Then you need Sharpie. This is one of those water resistant CD Sharpie marker thingies. I use these because they're really easy to put on the outside of the Lexan body, on the clear film. If you do decide to change your design afterwards, you can wipe it off, so that's a good thing. I use drawing arches, rulers, bows, whatever I can get my hands on to make designing on the outside of the shell a bit more easy. Then I use an X-Acto knife, a full metal one, no plastic inserts. I hate the ones with the plastic inserts because they're too flexible. I want the knife to do exactly as I tell it to do, that's why I use a full metal one. These are usually really cheap. You can pick them up at one of those $5 stores or $2 stores, whatever. Tweezers. If you get into making a detailed design that's really intricate and small, it's handy to have a pair of tweezers ready to weed out all the masking tape that you've cut. Fingernails usually don't do the trick, so I use a pair of tweezers. Last but not least, you need, let me peel off the price tag. I told you it would be poor editing. I will just leave this in, I think, so you guys can give me some nasty comments in the box below. PS paint. I only use Tamiya paint. Some people like to use Spectra or other stuff. I only use Tamiya because it's really adhering to the Lexan. It sort of eats its way in. It's almost impossible to get it off once it's sprayed on. Nice paint, good paint to work with, dries quick, nice finish. Colors are always as promised on the top of the lid. I've seen that being different a few times. So Tamiya paint, PS paint. Don't use any other paint because that won't stick. Next up is preparing the body itself. This is a rear fender for a HemiStorm Penta Losi 5 shell. As you can see, these 5th scale shells are really huge. To give you an idea, my hand in comparison to what is just the back fender. So we have a lot of surface to paint and a lot of room to put on a design. These shells there provided with a clear overspray film, as are most RC shells. What you want to do first is you want to make sure that it's clean. You want to wash out the inside of this Lexan using hand soap. Make sure that there's no water residue left or anything that can stain it up. Wipe it out carefully using a cloth that doesn't fiber over the Lexan or whatnot. And make sure you clean everything really well before you start masking it up on the inside. What I got here is the roof of the car. I went ahead and put the masking tape on there. As you can see, there's still a few air bubbles in there. you want to make sure that you push all of those out using your fingernail or a credit card, whatever works for you. Now on the inside you can see I used my 2-inch wide masking tape. What I always do is I make sure that the overlaps in the tape are as small as possible. That way if you cut afterwards, you don't have to cut 2 layers of tape, or not for a lengthy part in your design. So what I do is I make sure that the overlap between 2 sections of tape is at the very most somewhere around 2 millimeters. That way you can make sure that you can cut out your design the way you want it to, and that your blade will behave the way you want it to. The thicker the layer of tape is, the more difficult it is to cut out your design. So stick to basically 1 layer only, and make sure that you fully press out all the air bubbles that might appear before you go lay on the paint. The next step, laying on the design. Using your Sharpie, you're gonna draw some lines on the outside on the clear film. As you can see, I messed up a few times, but it doesn't matter, as long as when you're cutting you stick to the line that you actually want to have. There's no worries of messing it up. This is a front fender, so I drew on a headlight as well. Went for some old school flames. The trick with flames is, on the parts that go across front to back, you want those to be really thin, and then where they tie in with the next section of the flame, you want it to be a bit thicker. That way they look sleek and they look nice. I'm going to pinstripe these, I think, so that means that I have to make a double cut on the inside. The next step is going to be a bit more, well, difficult perhaps. I want to have a nice logo on this roof. The roof is a really big area, as you can see with my hand in comparison. This shell is the one that I'm going to paint for Aaron at RC Sparks. He's going to make a little video on how to install this particular body on a LOSI 5. So what I want to do, I want to put an RC Sparks logo across the roof. What I use to do that, I download the logo from the internet, put it on my computer. Afterwards I'm going to mirror it using a program like Paint or Photoshop, whatever you have installed. Once it's mirrored, I'm going to resize it the way I want it, and I'm going to print it out. Now, why do I mirror it? It's really simple. I can show you using one of my product cards. You put it on, you stick it on with tape, and then afterwards, I don't know if this is visible on camera, you're going to look through the tape and you're going to see the design. Now, if I would print it the way it is, it would mean that eventually my design would come out the wrong way. So when it comes to lettering and stuff like that, I always mirror it around, stick it to the outside before I put it on my lamp and cut it out. It's the easiest way to put a design on a shell, basically. As you can see, I stuck the logo to the outside of the roof right now. Or basically you're not able to see anything until I turn the lamp on. What I'll do, flip it around, put it on my lamp. There you see something appearing already. I have no idea how this is going to look on cam once I turn the lamp on, so brace yourself. There goes nothing. That's not too bad, actually. As you can see, every line in the logo now appears. So I will be able to trace them with my scalpel, cut everything out. What I do, I don't weed anything out instantly, so I leave everything as it is. I just make sure that I trace every line that I want to appear in my paint scheme afterwards. Nobody said it was going to be fast.